Okay, guys, what's up? I do not like responding to noobs. I really don't. Okay? Now, I know I responded to Groundsbreaker because he thinks that he's a big bad guy and he thinks he can take on the evaluator. But I'm just going to tell you. Okay, so their title says they're debunking Mr. Evaluator's channel. So in this context, they would literally mean to the writers, well, not to the writers, to the people viewing the material, it means that every video I have ever uploaded, they will be debunking all of the content in the videos that I've put up. But if you listen to this whole 1 hour 55-minute video for 5 minutes, they're only debunking the videos they know about and not the videos they don't know about. As they said with Kirby, they don't know too much about Kirby. They didn't know too much about CBR. They didn't know too much about Screen Rant and possibly any other videos I have uploaded. And technically, these comments, you know, these guys right here, you know, all of these guys, look, you got one guy over here to comment who didn't know who Maxwell is, and you know, he's over here talking about here. I guess they debunked the Scribblenaut Maxwell, talking about he sits outside existence, he could write adjectives, and they basically debunked another video that I basically put up about DC cannot be destroyed or consumed. I first of all want to really apologize to those who actually looked at the video and really specifically think that nobody in the DC universe cannot destroy their own universe. It kind of really contradicts what I said about Trigon taking over and destroying all of the DC universe existence. So I really want to apologize about that if you guys got confused. So when I specifically said that DC cannot be destroyed or consumed, I specifically were talking about Pennywise. Okay, so I really meant to say Pennywise cannot destroy or consume all of DC existence, simply because DC has a balanced reality of chaos and order, and that sits on the outside of all of the existence of DC. If, however, that tries to get consumed, then the person that's consuming the six planes of reality, they will be the foundation of that, of the DC universe. So yeah, they will be the foundation of the DC universe. And specifically with Trigon going on the outside of the DC universe, actually, no, I don't want to say that it contradicts, because the thing about Trigon in his true form, he could go on the outside of the DC universe and its existence and absorb the chaos and actually corrupt the yeah, I don't think they were listening to me. I'm so sorry I said that, guys. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't contradict myself. What I literally said, what I actually said was that DC can't be destroyed or consumed. So even if Trigon tries to go on the outside of the existence of the DC universe with the chaos and the order, and he absorbs the chaos and corrupts the order, then basically Raven will be the order of the DC reality. She will be the order of the DC reality, while Trigon will be on the while Trigon will be on the order of the DC, while he will be the chaos of the side of DC. So whenever Trigon tries to go and destroy all of DC, he will represent the chaos on the outside of DC, and Raven will basically represent the order of the entire DC. So anytime Trigon tries to attack the order, all it does, it flips and flips and flips and keep flipping, which basically confirmed to what I said in the beginning. Chaos, DC cannot be destroyed or it cannot be consumed. As big as Trigon is, even in his true form, the great evil beast, like one of the biggest guys ever, Kyle Rayner with the life equation, Darkseid with the anti-life equation, he can't even destroy the entire the entire existence of DC. Because if, however, he does, he then would, it then mean he would probably destroy all of the chaos and destroy all of the order. But once again, he would not be able to do this because the entire reality is balanced with chaos and order. Anytime the existence of DC is beginning to get attacked, or if it's in a moment of being attacked, then that's when the order pretty much arises and store balance with all the reality of DC. But they're talking about, I said that Trigon could destroy the existence of DC, which make it seem, from what they say, makes me seem like I'm contradicting myself when I'm not. So I'm going to specify this to you right now. DC and the existence of DC can't be consumed or destroyed because it is balanced by a higher existence that sits on the outside of DC, which basically stores the balance of chaos and order. If a great being, pretty much like Beyonder or somebody bigger than him, tries to destroy the order and destroy the chaos of the existence of DC, they will be the chaos, and DC and the existence will send someone just as powerful as that person, or even more powerful as that person, to destroy that person, just to store balance throughout all of the DC, which confirms that all of the DC universe cannot be destroyed, that all of the existence of DC cannot be destroyed or consumed, because there must always be a balance. The presence even knows this. He's even confirmed that there's higher beings than him that basically sit in between two of these existences, just to bestow balance to all of the existence of reality. Batman represents the order, the Joker represents chaos. How Batman became Bruce Wayne, his parents were being murdered, that represents the chaos. Bruce Wayne becomes the order. So therefore, this entire reality is balanced by chaos and order. Even if Trigon becomes the strongest of the strongest of the strongest, still up to this point, it really wouldn't even matter. Still up to this point, it really wouldn't even matter how strong Trigon basically get. Like, he still wouldn't be able to destroy the very existence of DC, because it is balanced by chaos and it's balanced by order. And even if he was going to go to the higher existences, or Kyle Rayner was going to go to the higher existences, then pretty much they themselves will be the balance of chaos and order. And by this time, we can actually have Trigon transcend to a higher being that will balance out the entire existence of DC. The entire existence of DC is balanced on chaos and order. And if that happens, and if that breaks, then DC will cease to exist. This is what I said. If it happens, if the authors, if the writers, if anybody from the DC Comics or Warner Brothers confirm that the existence of DC can be destroyed, then the comics and all that exists within DC, the whole omniverse would not exist. The whole DC omniverse would not exist. So therefore, it's balanced by chaos and it's balanced by order, and thus far could not be, up to this point, it cannot be destroyed or consumed unless the writers write any else otherwise. Okay, so I'm gonna put a pin in that one. So now this YouTube video, whatever, confirms that I'm ducking, I'm running, I'm dodging away, I'm just dodging everybody. I don't want to battle them, I don't want to keep up with them. And like through the video, I'm not doing any of that, because all it is just circulars running around. I'm not finna have nobody come up in my server, disrespect me. Yeah, not disrespect me or disrespect any other people, post anything stupid. But, I mean, we all know that Kua doesn't believe in God. And that's why he's using the Lord's name in vain and constantly constantly repeats the same thing over and over. So that's just another topic. We're going to debunk him later. But theoretically, this entire video claims that they're debunking my whole channel, saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. Of all of my content, I'm just showing people that I evolve and all of this nonsense, and yet still getting debunked. This basically even goes to show you that even when I basically started hearing the video, they started talking about dementiality again. Now, I just made 2 videos that debunk and disprove dementiality. First, we have Tatsuki, who basically bitten a higher dimensional being from a higher dimension while she sits in a 2 dimension. I mean, these guys are just so redundant, and they're just so... It's just so crazy that they still use this dimensional scaling, and they act as if they know, and they don't know what they're talking about. So they're going to sit here for 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 5 seconds debunking all of my material. Well, not even all of my material, just a little bit of most of what they know on my material, and actually think they know what they're talking about. Well, you know what I'm going to say about it? This is what I'm going to debunk about these guys. If you're going to debunk a YouTuber's entire content, make sure not only you, even for the videos that you don't know, for the videos that you don't know about, be sure that you basically put the content and be sure that you research the content, the video that he's talking about, and basically, I'm so sorry guys, I'm tired. Okay, so I'm just going hard today, man. But anyways, if you're gonna debunk somebody's content and you see a video that you don't know about, you can basically put that video on there and do some research about the video, find out what they're talking about, and then basically debunk it. Because if you put a title on your video talking about you debunked somebody's channel and you didn't debunk all of the channel, that kind of really makes you and your entire YouTube, except for the noobs and the brainwashed subscribers on your content, look pretty dumb. Because I mean, I see it's kind of stupid for somebody to say, I'm going to debunk your entire content, and you posted about like 70 something videos and they only been through like 8. I mean, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? But anyways, I'm just gonna say this. They haven't debunked all of my content because there were some videos on here that they didn't even know about, and so they just skipped right over it. And they also, I put a fight up about Doomsday and the Hulk, and they actually think that I said Doomsday will beat the Hulk. Nope, that's not what I said. I said that the only way the Hulk will beat Doomsday is if he kills him. Like, the first punch he throws at Doomsday, he has to kill Doomsday. Because if the first punch he throws at Doomsday doesn't die, he's going to absorb that punch, get stronger, and hit freaking Hulk with that punch. You see what I'm saying? So his very first punch, he's gonna have to kill Doomsday. He's gonna have to kill Doomsday with that punch. If he doesn't, Doomsday is gonna wind up killing the Hulk. If not, Hulk gets any stronger and winds up hitting him with another punch and killing him. But if he's not able to do that, then Doomsday is gonna beat him. But in this case of scenario, the only way for Hulk to win is to basically hit him with one punch and basically take him out and basically kill him, which I'm not saying that Hulk isn't capable of doing it. I'm saying he has to do it in order for him to beat Doomsday. These noobs do not know what they're talking about. They come on there claiming that they're debunking your channel when they're basically saying the same crap they said when we started debating, when we were discussing about it, when we were talking about it, and it really doesn't make no sense. Like, I'm not gonna sit here for another hour, 55 minutes, but then again, I'm gonna skim through the entire video, and I'm just gonna see all what they were talking about. But I know I don't think they said anything about Doomslayer. Let me see.
Faster because he did multiple movements at that speed instead of one, which is fucking retarded right there.
Okay, hold on. They were talking.
If he's moving at light speed and he does that light speed meta, he just loves to go off. Only time, like, here's how to actually argue that better.
Okay.
Light is like slower than human with his punching speed, so
Yeah.
Hey, you know who's above a human? Yeah. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Light is like slower than human with his punching speed, so
Okay, so this guy, you heard this guy, right? He said All Might is slower than human. He's slower than a regular human with his punching speed, right? So, like, I know I said in 60 seconds he threw 300 punches. Well, come to be, when you go back and rewatch the anime, he says that he has a minute left in his form. So instead, he winds up beating Nomu within 30 seconds. He beats Nomu in 30 seconds. And use the rest of the remaining time he has, 30 more seconds, to keep his form, to actually, to basically convince Shigaraki and the rest of the villains to leave. That's all what it is. Yeah, that's it. And then when the 30 seconds was up, that was it. When the 30 seconds was up, that was literally it. That was it, bro. That was it. But he still remained to hold all of his powers. So from that solid evidence, All Might has threw 300 punches in 30 seconds against Nomu. 300 punches. So that's, when you add that down, that's like every 10 seconds. Okay, so that's 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds is 100 punches. So in the next 5 seconds, this guy threw 50 punches. In 5 seconds, he threw 50 punches. And you mean to tell me that he's slower than a human? What human could throw 50 punches in 5 seconds? What human? Or like, if you boil all the way down to 1 second, then that's 1 second to be like, I don't know, about like 5 punches? Okay, so that's 10, 10, 10. That'll be 30 seconds. That's 300 punches. Take it down to 10 seconds, then that'll be 100 punches. 9 seconds will be 90 punches. 5 seconds will be 50 punches. 4 seconds will be 40 punches. 3 seconds will be 30 punches. 2 seconds will be 20 punches. And freaking 1 second will be 10 punches, if that's right. So that's 300 punches. That's 300 punches in 30 seconds. So every 10 seconds was 100 punches. Every 9 seconds was like 90 punches together. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So yeah, it's a 10 count. So every 1 second, this guy's throwing 10 punches. What human could throw 10 punches in 1 second? I'm waiting for that.
Oh.
Yeah. He puts
And they actually agree to that. They actually agreed to that. Oh my goodness.
puts a lot of merit on just like specific actions meaning specific speeds. Like, it's so dumb. Like, the only time
It's so dumb. It is so dumb to use that a specific action matches a specific speed. How many times we actually seen characters move at sound, move faster than sound, move at light faster than light, moving at these amount of speeds, not just one, in multiple directions, which basically prove to the audiences that the characters is this fast. So wait, it's dumb to actually say that a character that cannot move at multiple directions at that speed isn't that fast versus a character that actually has shown evidence to move at multiple speeds at that speed, to move at multiple places at one time is faster than a character that moved at that speed once? That's dumb?
like, here's how to actually argue that better. So there's this light speed meta he just loves to go off of, in that if a character has shown to perform like multiple attacks, like, I'm assuming he means like that kind of anime-esque blitz punch, that you see in anime. That's if he's moving at light speed and he does that versus some guy, he does one light.
As if that speed is not accurate. So let me just get to the point. These guys is going to justify, right, up to this point, that all light speed is the same. That's what they're going to justify. The same, they're going to justify that light speed attacks are the same basic with characters. So if we have another character in Marvel who moves at light speed once versus a character in anime who moves multiple places at that speed at once, is in the same category. That's what they're telling you. Listen to these guys. This is exactly what they're telling you. A character in anime that's at light speed, who's shown to move in multiple directions at one time, is the same as character who has not shown any evidence to move at light speed in multiple directions but move once. Like, listen to these guys. They're actually telling you that the light speed that they use in anime is the same light speed they use in Marvel or in DC. They don't have to move that fast to prove that they're not fast or just as fast as light speed. I mean, it's stupid. They're trying to counter argue that because their narrow minds is literally trying to tell you people that we want you to think like us, and what Mr. Evaluator is saying, it doesn't make sense because light speed is light speed. No, it's not light speed. Do you want to know why the anime writers and the artists and the people that direct the show basically show you that they're moving at this speed? It's because they're explaining to the crowd and depicting to the crowd how fast the character is when he is moving at this amount of speed. So moving at this amount of speed proves to the audiences that the characters is capable of even moving faster. That means if you move at light speed, you can hit somebody with your slowest attack from their blind side. And the same basically even applies to Marvel Comics. We have Quicksilver, who's basically running, I guess, faster than sound, and he's really dodging bullets. He's actually dodging freaking bullets. And even at his slowest speed, he can actually run there. Yeah, he can actually run there back and forth. Yeah, he can actually run there back and forth and just slap them all in the back of the head while he's dodging their bullets, or while he's basically touching their bullets or whatnot. And we actually even seen in one of the comics, well, actually in shows, where Quicksilver is playing ping pong with himself, running backwards and forth like it's no problem. Like he's running back and forth, tacking, just like playing ping pong with himself. Like, and if he wanted to, he could play ping pong with himself and read a comic book at the same time, just to prove how fast he basically is. So a character that basically attacks at light speed, he can also hit you from your blind side with his slowest attack. This is evidence that proves that the character is this fast. If you move at light speed, you can also hit the character with your slowest attack. What they're saying, if you can move light speed once and can't show that you can't attack a character and you can attack a character with your slowest speed, then you're not even as fast as light speed. And what the evidence basically shows as then is that the character is not only incapable of just moving at light speed, it just proves that the character isn't moving at light speed. Or if he is moving at light speed, he is not as fast as any other character who moves at light speed, who can move twice as fast as they can. If he could hit you from multiple directions while moving and attacking you at this speed. But they're telling you that it's the same, and it doesn't make no sense because it's just all dumb. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Speed punch. That suddenly means that those barrage punches are faster because he did multiple movements at that speed instead of one, which is fucking retarded right there. Like
and he literally told you it's retarded. It's retarded for a character to prove that he can actually move at multiple speeds. If he's attacking a character at supersonic speed, at light speed, it's proven that because he's throwing multiple attacks, he's only light speed versus a character that basically only throws one attack. And it doesn't even prove that because he hasn't done this, that character isn't faster than he is what he's saying. So technically, in their words, not mine, they're telling you that both characters that move at light speed is the same, and neither of those characters are faster than the other. That's what they're telling you. That's what they're saying. That's their words, not mine.
Here's how to actually argue that better than okay, if he can perform all 300 punches, in a shorter amount of time than it takes for that one guy to do his single punch. That's when it's faster. That's how you can say that,
I know you guys heard that, right?
multiple movements are faster, but doing multiple movements literally means like nothing at all.
Did you hear that? Multiple movements does not mean nothing. As if the character that does not move at multiple movements is quicker and faster than the character that moves at multiple movements, is what he's telling you. Like, just because a character at light speed or supersonic speed is moving at multiple movements, it doesn't mean that the character has light speed or that character is faster than that character that is light speed. You do basically have characters in the Marvel universe and in DC universe who can attack at light speed, like Quicksilver. But not Quicksilver, like Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer is faster than light speed, but he can only move at that speed once because he don't want to basically mess up the time frame in the Marvel universe. But if he was going to fight an anime character that move at his light speed ratio and could basically move at that ratio at multiple directions, that proves to Quicksilver he can only move in that direction once, that character with solid evidence is faster than Silver Surfer. It's faster than Silver Surfer because he can move in multiple directions. He could basically move in multiple directions at one time at Quicksilver's ratio of speed. So that proves to the crowd that character is faster than Silver Surfer, than Surfer is unto him. But they're saying that a character moving at multiple speeds and multiple directions isn't as fast. It doesn't mean nothing. It just means he's just choosing to move at that speed, and it's just nothing. That's what they're telling you. So they're telling the audiences, to all of you guys that are listening, that moving at multiple directions at Silver Surfer's ratio does not mean nothing. It just means that you're moving at light speed. That's all. Because they're saying that as if Silver Surfer has shown to move in multiple directions. So it doesn't mean nothing because they're saying light speed is light speed. As if somebody who is moving in multiple directions at light speed can actually is proven to the audiences that he's much faster than a character that moves at light speed. So a character that swings in multiple directions at light speed is proven to be faster than light speed. So even though it is stated to be light speed, the character that shows multiple punches proves that the character moves faster than light speed. They're just looking at a ratio of light speed is light speed, so it doesn't even matter. The accuracy of the punches by the second, by the minute, doesn't mean nothing. It really doesn't mean nothing. We have Quicksilver move at light speed once or throw an attack once versus another character that could throw 3,000 punches in that same instances, but much faster. Basically, like, we use somebody like Quicksilver. Quicksilver will be, I guess I will make him equal to All Might. Well, I don't know, but we could just say somebody who's fast like All Might, who could match, 10 punches in 1 second. Anybody that can match 10 punches in 1 second, bro, who can match 10 punches in 1 second is equal to All Might. If they show that person could throw 10 punches in 1 second, he is equal to All Might. But if they haven't shown that this character only threw one punch at 1 second at his speed ratio, then that means he's not as fast as All Might. I mean, they're literally telling you, they're literally discarding the evidence. They're literally discarding the evidence and discarding the ratios, the time and the time and the duration of All Might's punches, and they're discarding the calculation of his speed, bro. Like, they're just throwing it all out the window and just say that all light speed is the same, regardless. That's what they're doing. That's the big conclusion. They're discarding all his mathematics, all the calculation, and just say light speed is light speed, sound speed is sound speed, multiple movements doesn't mean nothing. And this even proves that these guys are hardcore noobs. They don't know what they're talking about.
So just like your attack speed. That just means you're a person who likes to do a barrage attack.
What?
Like that literally means nothing.
Specifically the way he utilizes it, I agree with that 100%.
And I came to that conclusion with basic logic.
Basic logic.
He literally says, like, to somebody says, hey, how fast is All Might? And he's like, Sonic level. Pretty fast. Dude, how fast is Sonic? Like, sound? Telling me he's like a little faster than sound? And he's like, yeah. Something like that. Yeah, just about. I have a panel here for Cap. It's dodging lasers. How fast is a laser? It's near light speed. Oh, damn. Honestly.
Okay, so this is what they do on this, right? They actually use this is how the noobs basically work. They basically scale like the laser attacks, right? Basic laser attacks, and sum up the ratio to the lasers, right? So if somebody is shooting multiple lasers at Captain America and he's dodging those lasers, they add the ratio of those lasers moving at light speed and confirms that Captain America is at light speed, right? But here's the contradictory. They just discarded freaking All Might punches, 10 punches in 1 second, and how fast his punches is. They just discarded 10 of his punches in 1 second, but they're gonna say the laser ratio is light speed, and he's dodging multiple lasers attacks at one time. So he's dodging these lasers who's shooting this laser scales to light speed. These lasers scales to light speed because Captain America dodges it. But we're gonna discard 10 punches in 1 second, All Might's ratio. We're gonna keep Captain America's ratio, his light speed attack, multiple directions at one time, but we're gonna discard All Might's ratio, speed ratio with his punches. You're gonna keep his Captain America laser attacks, which is claimed to be light speed, but you're gonna discard All Might's ratios, punching speed, right? Because they specifically know that that Captain America's punching speed does not match All Might whatsoever. There's not a single panel where it actually shows that Captain America has ever threw 20 punches in 2 seconds or 30 punches in 3 seconds. When your favorite villain said that he basically hit Hulk over 2,600 times, I was thinking that he probably said that out of one punch, he hit Hulk 2,600 times in one attack. But he didn't. He only fought him 2,600 times at a time in single-handed blows. And I will also prove to you that the laser attacks can scale to light speed attacks, but specifically, the people that are shooting the lasers are regular humans, right? And Captain America brain processes faster than the average human. I don't care if you have a gun that shoots 100 quadrillion times faster than doggone light speed. If you are a regular human and you shoot that gun towards Captain America, he will dodge it. Why? Because Captain America moves faster than the normal human brain. His brain basically allows him to react to speeds, well, not speeds, it allows him to regularly react to faster than average to the average human. But compared to All Might is not an average human. He threw 20 punches. He threw 20 punches in 2 seconds against Nomu. He threw 30 punches in 3 seconds against Nomu. This is way too fast in Captain America. So they used Captain America's ratio, right, to confirm that Captain America is light speed, as if the people that's shooting the lasers, are shooting light speed attacks at lasers. Yeah, shooting light speed attacks at him. So he don't have to move in multiple directions. I basically even showed you Quicksilver dodging bullets, right? But you know how it creates, the artist basically depicts different grounds, like different drawings of him, and basically create holograms of how fast he's basically moving, because they want the character, the person that's reading the comic, to know how fast the character basically is. So when we look at the ratio of Captain America's speed, it's claimed to be faster than light, or if he's supposed to be faster than light, then whenever he's fighting an opponent who's under him, like as it shows with Hyperion, he don't even need to have to dodge an attack from behind, because since he's faster than light, even without his reaction speed is supposed to align up with his punches, as well as it aligns up with his speed. As we see with All Might had, I don't know, I'm not sure, but All Might has ran 2 miles, and I guess it was a 1 mile run, 2 mile run, all the way to all for one, and he basically got there in 30 seconds. So if Captain America is FTL, and this is where the wanking is going, right? So if Captain America is really faster than light, then his running speed is supposed to be faster than light. At least the speed and his reaction aligns up with his body. And if the character is moving at light speed, even for once, then he has the ability to run and move at that speed. I mean, we've already had Kua over here, the other big noob liar, who basically said that Captain America can perceive distances from very fast jets, who is flying at fast speed, and he basically jumped down on those jets and got on them with no problem. That basically even also means that since Captain America is FTL, he could basically run faster than Quicksilver, because it says Quicksilver is slower than light, but he runs faster than sound. Do you see where the connection is? They're telling you that he reacts to light speed attacks, but he doesn't run at that speed. It doesn't make no sense. Any character that has the ability, as shown with Flash and Quicksilver, to be faster than sound or faster than light, not only present these abilities with their reaction and their attacks and their defense counter, but they also present this type of speed with their travel speed when they travel and they run. It doesn't make no freaking sense. It doesn't. Why would you say that Captain America is faster than light on his reaction and defense counters and his punches, but he doesn't run at that speed? That is stupid, bro. It's just stupid. Captain America does not run at FTL speed. If you go to the main website, right, and go to marvel.com and type up Captain America, it will literally give you the ratio of his speed. It'll actually literally give you the ratio of his speed. That means if Captain America reflexes is faster than light, then that means Captain America is supposed to be running at this speed. I mean, it's stupid for you to say that Captain America has this reaction speed, but he doesn't have this running speed. I mean, that's stupid. What? Because the brain was only to program, the serum only programmed for his reaction to fight, move, and react like that, but not run like that? That don't make no sense. All Might is like, I guess Sonic speed or faster, but like, his reaction is like at that supersonic speed or superhuman speed, that fast speed, that sonic speed. His defense counter is at that speed. And when he's basically traveling, when All Might is running, when he's running, when he's traveling, his movement is at that speed. Why in the world would you say that Captain America is faster than light and he doesn't travel at this speed? That is freaking ridiculous. These are noobs to the hardcore, guys. Noobs to the hardcore.
Fucking rip. Okay, so I can see it from his perspective, but every time I do it, it's like, it's dumb. I don't know why he's thinking like that. It's just it's stupid. Because if I compare, like, those blitz punches, he's moving, it looks like he's moving really fucking fast.
No, he just compares light speed to lightning. And so he thinks, oh, I hear thunder sometimes before I see lightning, so obviously sound is faster than light. Think about it.
Oh my god.
I just messed over. I'm even way too hard, boys. But unfortunately, I do have to part ways here, man. I'm getting memed by real life.
No.
Alright, bro.
Alright.
Happy trails.
It is always fun to jump on and be featured on Kua's channel, man. You guys can find me. I'm sure I'll be linked down low. Definitely check out me in the coffee shop.
And that was Lumos, guys. Really awesome to have him here. But we still got the gang. We still got some of the gang left to waste it.
Yeah.
My only advice is take your laptop. Take your laptop into the Hulk does that game better anyway. Sorry, Bats. You're gonna be put in the morgue for a while.
Like, thrown hands with Etrigan, made him bleed with punch. He's also, knocked the lights out of fucking Apollo, a near Superman level character, and he's like not amped like whatsoever. Plus, he has just like one of the stupidest hacks. It's just like his battle computer in his brain, which just literally tells him how to map out a fight and just be like, yeah, this is the easiest. He's also,
but like, he's nowhere. Like, he gets schooled on by a lot of characters, like Lady Shiva or Deathstroke, and the only times that he actually does come out on top, like, they literally state they're holding back.
Okay, so in this next video, they're talking about Midnighter versus Batman, and I've given Batman the win. So I'm gonna just go ahead and talk it over. They said, like, Midnighter has a computer in his brain. He could basically, it's impossible to beat him. Okay, it's really impossible to beat him because, like, he's always ahead of his opponent. He's basically knocked out, what's his name? He's knocked out Apollo, Superman level characters, and basically got all of that. And they literally state that Batman fighting, like Q just said, the other people that be fighting Batman said that they be holding back. So let me tell you what's wrong with these guys, right? So, like, when I said that Batman's going to be fighting Midnighter, I literally given Batman, I said, okay, in this case, I'm not going to throw Bruce Wayne in a fight with the Incredible Hulk, knowing that the Incredible Hulk could just toss him in the ocean. That's number one. He could just toss him in the ocean. But if we give Batman a armored suit and he's actually fighting Midnighter, Batman will beat Midnighter. And how and why? Because each and every bit of Batman's attacks are planned. Like, unless this mind chip in Midnighter's head could actually read Batman's mind, like, if he could actually read Batman's mind, then pretty much he basically will have to take the win. But then again, Batman could put diversions in his head, as he's basically done with Martian Manhunter. But this is the basis of the line. Martian Manhunter can go as deeper as he want inside the person's mind, and clearly even break them if he wanted to. But theoretically, that's just another topic until we find out a little bit more about Midnighter. So they're saying that Midnighter will be Batman, will stump Batman and just put Batman in the morgue. No, he actually wouldn't, because Batman uses his strategies. He has methods, and every attack he basically planned is always a planned attack behind another attack. He's basically even fought Philo Feast. Philo Feast, who was a mob super soldier who basically could see every bit of your moves, I guess 2 to 1 second, 1 to 2 seconds. And basically he took severe damage Batman took 2 times to get stabbed, and he wind up punching Philo Feast and just beating him. So the thing about Batman is that he's unpredictable. He's an unpredictable character. So they're going to discard the fact that how Batman fights. They're going to discard the fact how he basically uses his methods, how he uses his strategies, and just go with Midnighter beat Apollo, and he has Superman level, and he can punch a crater in the earth, etc., etc. Batman can't do that, so Midnighter takes the win. Do you actually call that a stump? No, because when you basically put the characters together, you use their tactical abilities, their capabilities, what they're capable of doing, their strategies, how they basically use their methods. And when Batman basically fights, how he uses his ways and how he fights and how he basically plans his attacks behind another attack, Midnighter, even with the computer brain, will not be able to keep up with Batman under any circumstances. Unless he has the ability to read his, Midnighter has the ability to read his mind. Batman does not need to be faster than Speed. He does not need to be, he does not need to be stronger than Midnighter. All he needs to be is have his strength in an armored suit and enough speed to tack him up. And that's all Batman could use, because matter of fact, Batman has shown to use people that could see ahead of time, predict different movements to the best of his advantage. This is why Batman is the one and only greatest DC tacticianist of all the DC universe, because every person that is proven to be stronger, faster, and more powerful than Batman, he has always found a way to use that to his advantage. Even when Trigon destroyed the entire Justice League, he wound up taking Trigon's side. You can look it up on Google, type up Trigon siding with Batman siding up with Trigon. He basically sided with Trigon and just after he took out the Justice League, but behind that, he had plans behind Trigon, but the evidence doesn't say that, but he still wound up teaming up with Trigon. Trigon wound up defeating everybody in the Justice League except for Batman, because he found Batman a more useful project. He found Batman a more useful person. I mean, it's stupid. It's stupid for you to actually say, oh, Midnighter did this, he did that, Batman didn't do this, Batman didn't do that, so Midnighter beats Batman. That is so much a noob talk, man. That is noob talk to the finest, man.
Or they're not taking him serious. So, yeah, he doesn't stop Midnighter. Maybe with some
Midnighter,
some dimensions or whatnot. Wrong again. We don't got all the explain why you're wrong. And we got plenty of other people who have told you this already. But yeah. Kingpin versus Monoma. Kingpin.
Monoma is an MHA character that is not Monoma in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
If Monoma basically just copies other quirks, but here's the thing: if his power is only quirk specific, he's getting fucking shit on by Kingpin.
Okay, so they just even confirmed to you. They literally just confirmed to you if he copies quirks, if he only copy quirks, as if they know what quirks is. So this guy already told you he don't even know anything about Monoma. Okay, so he just said that Monoma will get stamped on by Kingpin. Well, first of all, when Monoma basically touches his opponent that has a special ability, a quirk is a special ability that was bestowed, or I guess pretty much like All Might the Midoriya, or somebody was born with a special ability, or it was passed down from generations to generations. Now, Monoma does have a limitation to his quirks, his special ability. He can only use his special ability once. He can only activate one quirk at a time. He can't activate all the quirks together. But the reason why they call quirks is because they call them quirks because they have special ability. It's identified as the people that have quirks have special abilities. Now, the limitation to his quirk is that if it takes some sort of energy, like prime example, if somebody has the ability, like a car, right? If it takes gas to run a car, he could copy the car, but he cannot copy the gas that gotta get put into the car in order for the car to run. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the guy just stuck his foot in the mouth, and he said that, like, if he copies his quirk, if he copies only specifically quirks, Kingpin will dominate him. Well, first of all, the guy don't even know how strong the quirks are. Okay, that's number one. Like, I'll use the top tier people for Todoroki. Todoroki has this giant ice block, and he could basically freeze an entire, well, I guess half an entire city with his doggone special ability. And in fact, he could take, on his right side, I guess with his father's side, however, he could burn and melt metal. He can actually get as hot as he want or as cold as he want and melt metal. We even have Bakugo, who basically can control the range of his explosion, and theoretically, if Bakugo was standing in front of Kingpin, he could actually blast Kingpin to smithereens. He can also even control the strength of his explosion, and he can not only control the strength of the explosion coming from his hands, he could basically even control how hard or how fast he wanted to basically come out. Now, the thing about this is that when Monoma copied Bakugo's, well, Kachan's special ability, he basically didn't blow his face off. Instead, he only controlled the weight of, well, I guess not the limb, the strength of the explosion to only be light enough to basically knock Bakugo down. When on the other hand, we see Bakugo put his hand in front of buildings and basically just demolition these buildings. I mean, it's point blank and period. And then we even have on the other hand, Kirishima, who basically can even harden his body to the point to where not even titanium blades will rip through his skin. I'm talking about titanium blades. Steel blades cannot even rip through his skin because he can make his skin so hard and so tight. So theoretically, Monoma can copy Spider-Man's abilities. He can copy Wolverine, well, not the adamantium, but he can copy the regular Wolverine without the adamantium, because the adamantium was added to Wolverine. Wolverine wasn't born with the adamantium. He could even copy Quicksilver's ability, which is pretty crazy and all at one time. Like, I'm not even going to actually even use him using 4 quirks. He can hold up to 4 quirks, but I'm only going to give him 2. All he needs is Uraraka's zero gravity quirk, and he could basically use what's that other guy's quirk? Sugar Rush. Who did I say it? Yeah, he could just use Uraraka's quirk. That's it. He could use Uraraka's quirk, the zero gravity. So, like, he don't even have to get around Kingpin. He could touch himself and float all around Kingpin. Now, Kingpin does not have any special abilities because it says that the quirks are special abilities. That was inherently. But Kingpin is just a normal human who just basically endorsed his body to superhuman peak. Well, a little bit stronger than superhuman peak, which basically proves that Captain America isn't FTL, which is stupid. And he basically could pick up 1,500 pounds and toss them to the side. Well, theoretically, to Monoma, this will be a special ability to him because in his body, he doesn't have human peak conditioning. So if he can touch him, he will copy just only the strength and the ability Monoma has. And let's give it a highball. Let's just say he can't copy Kingpin. He could just come into battle with Uraraka's power, and he could just touch himself, float around Kingpin, and touch Kingpin and make him zero gravity, and push him all up in the air, sky high, and touch himself again, and deactivate Uraraka's quirk, and have Kingpin falling 15 stories out of the sky, splatting his brain and all. Because the ability says that she could touch people and make everything weightless, and she could just kick it. Okay, it's just weightless. And so if she could even touch humans. So if Monoma was to touch him or touch the ground they're on, he could basically flip Kingpin, or as a matter of fact, he could basically touch Kingpin himself and just make him zero gravity. And wrap a chain around him, and there's nothing Kingpin could actually do, because Kingpin's weight will be weightless. Yeah, he will have the strength, but then again, Monoma will be stronger than him because Kingpin doesn't have his weight. He's actually weightless. So he could just carry him and toss him like a baseball all the way in the sky and just deactivate the quirk, and he falls all the way to the ground and splat. And Monoma still beats him. Like, Kingpin doesn't even stand against a chance, as I said, even the strongest people. I mean, that's just crazy.
No diff.
Yeah. Kingpin doesn't have a quirk.
No diff. It's not his quirk. That's him.
Yeah. That's the problem. Like, I think he's taken quirk to mean, like, just like everything, like the absorbing man somehow. Like,
look at that.
Like, once, like, if he touches like metal, he becomes metal, or if he touches another superpowered being
that's not even
from another verse, it suddenly means he gets all of his powers. It is based around the system of quirks. So that's easily debunkable.
If he
they easily think that he can only copy quirks. No. They call it quirks because quirks are listed as special abilities. If any character throughout all of fiction was born with a special ability, more like the mutants and the metahumans in Marvel and DC, he could actually copy them. But they're already telling you in their face, they don't know what quirks mean. They're taking what I said out of the context, and they think I'm saying everything else but what I actually meant, what I actually said in the video. Your quirk is your special ability, but they're thinking that I'm saying he could touch metal and become metal. I mean, that's just stupid. So they're already telling you that they lost and they don't know what they're talking about. They're just speaking on the side point just to claim debunk my material and prove me wrong. Good luck with that.
if he touched somebody in his verse, like, I don't fucking know, like
He just told you he don't know. So why would you talk about a character and try to and make an attempt to debunk a video on a character you do not know about? At the very beginning of the video, when I said Monoma versus Kingpin, do not make claims about another character beating another character if you do not know anything about the opposite character you're putting him up against. Everything that you said will be void, pointless, and just disappointing altogether. When you basically make a claim about another character, you must have your information and you must show evidence that the character has this capability of lining up with the other character. Quirks are not like chakra or anything. They're called quirks because they are identified as special abilities, just like metahumans, just like mutants. These people are defined as beings with special abilities. I mean, what's the big diff? They're actually telling you that they don't even know that if he could copy anybody else outside his verse because they don't know what a quirk actually is when it tells you that a quirk is a special ability, and they don't know if he could copy anybody else outside his verse that has a special ability just as he does. I mean, they just don't know what they're talking about, man. They're telling you in your face they don't know what they're talking about.
Deku or something, and he had his power.
Look at that.
Maybe, but that's like...
Look at that.
No, you're just doing...
He didn't even have Deku's power. When he touched Midoriya, he did catch a skimp of it, but he wasn't able to utilize the power because the power was given to him. And he's even said throughout all of the My Hero Academia series, he said he cannot copy blank quirks. And what is a blank quirk? A blank special ability? Somebody that have a special ability that have to endorse sugar, that needs water, or they basically use fat tissue to utilize their ability. If, however, Spider-Man, like prime example, if Spider-Man needs to use his superpowers, he needs to eat spiders. So in order for him to use all of his special abilities, he needs to eat spiders. So technically, Monoma cannot copy the special abilities He can't copy this special ability. This will be a blank quirk because he doesn't have because this blank quirk, this blank special ability was not given to him to eat spiders. I mean, he could try to eat spiders, but he would not copy the ability. As if, like I said with the example, he could copy the car, but he cannot copy the gas that takes to run the car. He could copy Spider-Man, but he will not copy the power that Spider-Man has to use his power, as he did with the big fat guy. He touched the fat guy as an example, the fat guy using his special ability with his fat quirk, but he wasn't able to get fat. Therefore, it proves that it was a blank quirk because it took something to endorse his, it took something to activate his quirk to keep his quirk running. This is what they call a blank quirk. So therefore, he tried to copy Midoriya's quirk and it didn't work because it was blank, and the power, because it took a lot of energy. The energy had to basically be built up in order for Midoriya to use his power. So he has to basically have a bunch of energy building up in his body to utilize his power. These are what you call blank quirks. And Monoma cannot copy these blank quirks. So I'm just going to say it all. And y'all, anybody that have to build energy up in their body to use their powers, he cannot copy, and this is what they use and identify as a blank quirk. But anybody that doesn't need to do that and that has only a special ability, he could copy.
I feel like that's kind of cheating a little bit. You can't just throw in that. No, he has Deku's powers now. Oh, he'd beat him. Even then, he would not beat. I don't think he'd beat Kingpin, honestly.
Oh my goodness. So even if he had Deku's powers, he wouldn't beat Kingpin. When we actually see All Might destroying half a city with a single punch. And actually, we also see that Midoriya is the only person in that gym that was keeping up with All Might's punches. Nobody was able to see how fast All Might was punching Nomu. And actually, Kirishima was like, these guys were swinging so fast at each other, they couldn't even keep up with their speed. But Midoriya was the one and only person keeping up with All Might punches and his speed, because as freaking versus Sully, the aka Noob, said, you cannot see light speed attacks if you are not light speed. Therefore, Midoriya, I'll just say that Midoriya was getting ready to have supersonic speed, or he has that ability to see supersonic speeds because he has that speed in him. He just haven't been able to utilize that speed, which basically shows the solid evidence. He's able to actually see All Might swinging this fast at Nomu, as if he is the one and only person throughout the whole gym and the training facility that was able to see All Might punching this fast, and nobody else was. So even at that, 10 punches in 1 second, Deku was able to see all 10 of those punches in that split second, which is why he said he even knew he was using more than 100% of his power. So if he actually did use Deku's power and copy Deku's power, he will blitz Kingpin, because there's no way in the world Kingpin could match 10 punches in 1 second. Or freaking 5 or 50 punches in the next 5 seconds. And all of these punches are coming at full power. They're city level punches. I mean, get out of here with all this nonsense. Come on, bro.
Yeah. But okay, here's my last thing to say about that. Even if he could match his physicals or get his capabilities, or which, by the way, Kingpin's powers aren't based around a meta-human ability, and Monoma's ability works with quirks.
Look it up.
You can't prove that.
Look it up.
It works literally with.
Okay, so they just told you that it only works in his verse and it doesn't work outside his verse. So unless we prove otherwise that his quirk works outside the verse. Now here's the foot getting stuck in their mouth, right? So you will never see a panel or a manga that shows anywhere with My Hero Academia crossing another universe. You will never see a panel with Naruto crossing another universe. You will never even see where it actually shows Dragon Ball Z crossing Marvel or DC universe. You will never see this. So they use that evidence. They use that statement to justify a point. Yeah, to justify their point to disprove what you say about your character. Okay, because they're all sticking with evidence, right? So, well, then what's the point in Kingpin? So, wait a minute. So, what's the point with Kingpin fighting Monoma in the first place if there's no evidence of him copying anybody's quirk? You know what? Forget about that. Let's use that evidence. It still proves that Monoma was solo Kingpin because he will have Kachan's quirk, he will have Azawa's quirk, he will even have what's his name? He will have the other speedster guy's quirk in his verse, the other speed booster guy's quirk, and not only that, he will also have Shitsu's quirk. Now, for those of you who don't know who Shitsu is called the Brainwasher, right? And at any given moment, like if you speak to him, if you respond to him while his quirk is activated, he could brainwash you. He could literally brainwash you and control you, but it's just certain things that he can't do. He can't tell you to write your name on a piece of paper. He can't. I'm not sure, but he could just control you. He could brainwash you, right? Like he did with Midoriya in the games. He brainwashed Midoriya, and he told Midoriya to walk off the stage. But Midoriya broke out of that mind control, and he beat Shitsu. But under here is that when he has this ability activated, it's more likely he's going to brainwash Kingpin. And while Kingpin is just standing there being brainwashed, he could just take a blade and slit his doggone neck open. Point blank and period. That's all he has to do. That's all he has to do. Or he could copy Todoroki's abilities and just freeze Kingpin. Kingpin is still a human. He could still get shot, bro. He could still freaking get shot. And matter of fact, since they want to play hardball, I'm going to use the other one of the other strong students, right? There's this girl, let me see. Okay, so we're going to say Todoroki, right? No. We're going to use Tetsu. Okay, for those of you who don't know who Tetsu is, Tetsu is a metahuman, right? In My Hero Academia, and his whole body is made of metal, right? And he basically can withstand any temperature of heat or any temperature of cold, right? So we have where he can also actually punch his character so hard he can pierce a hole through their body. That's how strong he actually is, right? And then, or he can copy Kirishima's quirk, and the more he gets punched, the more he gets beat on, the stronger he becomes over time. Or here's another scenario, right? We have where there's another guy in My Hero Academia who can touch the ground, and he has a softening quirk. And like standing on a foundation, he could sink Kingpin under the ground with water and drown Kingpin. There is no way in a literal sense. Kingpin is not FTL. Kingpin cannot stand on top of water. Kingpin cannot breathe underwater. So therefore, Monoma could just freaking touch the doggone ground for all you may care. He can just actually touch the freaking ground, and Kingpin will drown. He would drown under that water and sink beneath it. That's just crazy. But after that, he don't even need to drown him, right? He could just touch the ground where Kingpin is standing on, and Kingpin will sink under the ground quickly. Like he can soften the ground so much, he will fall under the earth like water. And then when he deactivate the quirk, the ground will go back to its solid state. And he will crush every bone in Kingpin's body. So, I guess this look like it's going to the end of the video. These guys showed you they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, as much as they tried to debunk, they only narrated points that made sense to them, and it made sense, like they made it like it's accurate. But all in all, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just only saying things just to discredit and disprove anything that I say is actual facts. But they're only doing this because it doesn't meet their narrative. They don't want to do their research that way. They don't want to use this method because this is the actual method of power scaling. And so they want to go all out of the box just to match their narrative because that's just what the noobs do. Okay, so I will be posting another video up soon. Let me see if they have any.
Free metahuman power out. The goat versus the noobs. Is he calling himself the goat in this instance?
Okay, they talk about the goat.
Yeah, badly.
Okay, so yeah, that's the end of the video.
Goat versus the noobs. Is he calling himself the goat in this instance?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just responding to the video that I called myself the GOAT, and I just made it so many points, man. And like, I don't even need to respond to this because you guys already could see for yourselves that they don't know what they're talking about. They're just running around in circles. They're just saying points, and I've just debunked Dementiality twice. I've debunked Dementiality twice. They claim they debunked all my material, and there's some material they've seen on the videos that they didn't even know about. And they just had to skip the video. So they don't know what they're talking about. All this is just an attack against my content because they think they know what they're talking about. They met somebody that basically gave them they basically met somebody that gave them the taste of their own medicine and basically kicked them in their behinds. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys, man, but these guys are noobs. This is how they make their attacks, and they're just actually saying this because they think they know what they're talking about when they don't. They claim that they made points. These points look like they make sense, but they don't, because it's contradictory to the noob thing. Because if a character is fifth dimensional and he beats a fifth dimensional character with a sixth dimensional attack potency, wouldn't that mean that anybody under him should be infinitely bigger than anybody under him? As I shown with Tatsuki, how she basically attacked Ichigo and punched him in a face. Well, she punched Ichigo in the face, okay? And he's scaled to be, according to the noob logic, a 7-dimensional character. And 7 is bigger than 5th dimensional. 7 is bigger than 3rd dimensional and 2-dimensional. So how in the world does this happen? I mean, it's just contradictory. It just debunked and disproved the power scaling ignorant community. I mean, it's just stupid. The noob community. Anyways, this is just a little video. I'm going to be uploading more content. This is your guy, Evaluator, out. Okay, so let me find this button. Yikes. Hey.